Coming up on today's episode of Kung Fu Hot Dog.
That mother back there is not real. And you can spit on this plane and you can die with them or not.
Sorry, I just have to keep a straight face here. Commercial success.
I think it's time to send the emergency signal, Parker.
I fear you're not wrong, milady.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and what a crazy week it has been in the news. I went to my cafe this morning, and oh my word, Good Morning Britain are talking about Rachel Zegler. I'll get to that in a few moments, but honestly, speaking of the woman herself, just check out my Twitter right here. What does my bio say? My pronouns are F and U, keeping women attractive in video games and films. I also hit the gym and stay in whenever I can, which is true, I do, because going out into London now, it's almost like a death sentence in some ways. Just getting on the train, underground trains, I never used to have a problem with, but oh my god, it's like a sentence of death almost when you go into one of those cylindrical carriages and you're sitting there and it's really bad air being recirculated throughout the carriage. Do you know what I mean? Throughout the cars. So I just don't like that. So do I miss going into Oxford Street and Regent Street? Yeah, I do, but I'm probably going to go back in the winter time to check out HMV when it reopens. It might be open now for all I care, but without further ado, folks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And as promised, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking off with more news regarding Miss Rachel Zegler. Damn, oh damn. You know that video that I made yesterday where she sat there and she's just doing the old fake crocodile tears? I thought that was a recent video, and apparently it's from last year, but it has resurfaced because now people are just data mining on the internet looking for goods on Rachel. And speaking of goods, she's really kind of lacking the goods up there in the old chest region, if you know what I mean. But this is an interesting story, which was actually broken by the Daily Mail. The reason why I'm not on their particular website, because there's too many ads on there. So I don't want to be promoting ads for things I have no idea about. So Disney's brand new problem, brand being the operative word, Rachel Zegler controversy threatens to sink the Snow White remake. And of course, I've made a playlist dedicated to Miss Zegler herself, so go and check it out. It was stuff that was recorded even last year, highlighting what was going on, so it's not like I didn't have my finger on the pulse. By the way, Good Morning Britain, they were talking about, Rachel Zegler's been receiving backlash for her comments about the 1937 original Snow White, but we've been knowing about this since last year, so why is Good Morning Britain on ITV1 capitalizing on it now? Because I guess somebody's been telling them you need to report on this. But that's the thing, that's the beauty about YouTube. It is always miles, maybe even a year or two ahead of the actual news, because, you know, the news likes to keep it relevant with boring shit about Ukraine and America. Don't want to hear about it. I want to hear like real proper news. Yeah, branding experts believe her remarks will have a significant impact on ticket sales. What ticket sales are they talking about? Spoken like true idiotic marketing people. With the high budget Disney film set to hit theaters in March 2024, officials are expected to conduct urgent negotiations to deal with the fallout from Rachel's statements. The unfavorable reaction to her stance has necessitated damage control and deliberate steps to protect the film's reception and... Sorry, I just have to keep a straight face here. Commercial success. Was the BLM Little Mermaid a commercial success this year? No, it wasn't. Was there any other... was the Buzz Lightyear remake from last year a commercial success? No, that wasn't either. Go through all of Disney's failures this year. Elemental, that was a Disney film, right? Failed. All dog doo-doo, because nobody wants to take their kids or their grandparents to go and watch a film that's is trying to splash you with woke anointment. We're going to baptize you with woke. And that's what this film is going to do, this remake, because when you hear that Rachel Zegler, this is the 1937 original, which, by the way, it's hand-drawn, it's beautiful. Yes, some things about that film might be whimsical, but you can't dispute the fact it's a beautiful piece of animation. So she says, oh, that film was centered on a love story. It wasn't. But her new version is going to be girl boss Snow White going out there like Guy Ladriel from Rings of Power. But also you've got diverse dwarves. And you're also going to probably cater to the pink, the blue, the red, the green. All those people with weird colored hairs who support LGBT. And again, I don't believe in that ideology. If you want to do that, that's entirely your choice. No problem with me. Just don't force me to acknowledge your pronouns if you're being a dick about it. And what's going to happen, this Snow White film is going to tick all those ESG check marks. And those same people who complain they're not being represented will not go out and see this film. They'll just say, oh, right, okay, our checklists are met. And like cockroaches, they'll just go back to the little corners of their homes and stay there until the next IP that gets released will get blasted to death. I mean, Moana, remember that controversy this year where apparently the actors they want to cast in the live action version weren't the right skin tone? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? So who are the racists now? So if I complain that my favorite white character has been race casted or whatever casted, and what? I'm a racist, am I? But I can't voice my objection. Holy shit. I've got to talk about this woman right here, Miss Tiffany Gomez. And you know what? I think she's really attractive. Well, listen to this. Is a very interesting video. You'll know who she is in a minute, actually, but let's run this.
Like you get the out of my face.
Okay, you have a nice day.
You too.
That's Tiffany Gomez, who went viral on the internet for all of the wrong reasons.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off.
Now the quote crazy plane lady is apologizing.
Yeah, I gotta say, if I was sat here on Tiffany's left-hand side, I would be actually checking out her rack because, yeah, she's got a nice rack. And if you don't know this story, and I'm going to recap it for you, the reason why she got hysterical on this flight from, I think it was Dallas Airport, is that the passenger sat next to her was a lizard man. He wasn't real. And I'm going to show you him in a minute as well. I've got some theories about this, actually.
Apologizing for the rant posted on TikTok.
First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable.
Now, the thing is, if you look at this video of Tiffany, some people are saying it's not the same woman that we saw on the plane, but the woman we saw on the plane didn't have much makeup on, so I definitely believe this is actually her. Her father is a police officer, so if he found an objection about this, he would say something. Some people have even actually gone through the PC code, the data mining, and they're saying that where the source code comes from, it all goes back to an email address, Washington, D.C., which is insane. Tiffany is actually a marketing exec. She's got her own company, and she lives in a $1.6 million mansion, so she's not without change. And of course, you saw the picture of her on that plane, or the video I should say, with ripped jeans and just looking damn good. And she keeps in shape, I'll give her that much. Yeah, this is the guy, this is Lizard Man, not Dr. Kirk Connors from Spider-Man, who she accosted. So here's what he had to say.
The one who, quote, wasn't real.
No, it's okay. Yeah, she just pushing me.
I mean, he does look like Paul Giamatti, doesn't he? Would you call Giamatti a lizard man? No, even though he's a great actor.
You are the part of the, I don't know who's talking to in the phone. Okay. So I was just sitting right here, and she just come in, pushing me, and then she just...
Did she say anything before that to you? No?
No.
And you didn't say anything to her?
No.
Are you okay? You hurt?
Yeah. No, I'm okay.
You sure?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I have my flight, so it's just...
It's very funny that the police officer says to him, oh, did that 50-pound woman hurt you with her fist of fury? I mean, come on, give me a break. Maybe Tiffany Gomez does actually, I don't know, do bodybuilding of some sort. I mean, she's a thick woman, right? It's interesting that he said just before Tiffany accosted him or pushed him, she was on the phone to somebody. So was she? Now, look, I'm going to get all full tin capped right here, but was Tiffany receiving orders on a phone to accost somebody next to her? Who knows? This is like Manchurian Candidate levels of madness I've never even seen. Like, look, let's face it, Tiffany Gomez is not the only person to have claimed to have seen lizard people on outbound flights in America. It seems to be happening all over the place. David Icke, you know, back in the early days of the internet, me and my friend would download his, well, that version of a podcast back then where he talks about the lizard people.
If you also think that Buckingham Palace is inhabited by lizards, it kind of undermines
but it's not that. It's not that simple. There's a whole big backstory before you get to what I'm saying. If you deliver it in one line, oh, you know, the world's run by reptiles, you meet it on one level. Oh, that's crazy. Immediate reflex action.
I do believe what Mr. Icke has had to say is nothing to do with V, the TV series, but obviously how this thing's got out of control, it's quite crazy. I think with Miss Gomez, she's probably had well, they've ruled her alcohol, but maybe she put something into her. If she had something to eat or drink at the airport before she boarded the flight, did she take an hallucinogenic drug, or was her food spiked or whatever? Was she sat with somebody? Ms. Gomez looks like the type of woman who wouldn't really socialize with anyone outside. She would keep herself to herself. So I really, I've got a bit of a conspiracy theory thing going on there. But if anybody knows Ms. Gomez, tell her to get in touch with me. I would love to talk to her on this channel. I really would. And then maybe afterwards ask her out for dinner. She's an attractive woman. I can't help it. She's really good looking. Unlike Spooky Mulder from the X-Files, people tend to disregard the crazy, but I'm that guy who's a little bit more curious and I want to know a bit more what's going on. So we talk about inappropriate casting of characters in films. So this one is a little bit weird to me. So Bradley Cooper playing Leonard Bernstein, famous music composer, and he's pictured here with Carey Mulligan. It's a Netflix film, which I'm surprised about. I thought this would be like a big mainstream movie. So people are already laying into Bradley because, well, his prosthetic nose means he hates Jewish people. Jewish people, and I know quite a few myself, have characteristically big noses. It's not a blight, it's a nice looking trait actually. Dustin Hoffman has got a great big nose. He even makes a joke about it in Outbreak.
If I hurt her, you can punch me in the nose. A serious punch. For a very serious nose.
But this person here, Raphael Shumanov, I really couldn't like Bradley Cooper less after he played a racist, lying war criminal who openly hunted civilians in Iraq as a hero. That is, until he decided the best way to depict Leonard Bernstein was with a made-up, comically large nose. Pamela Geller tweeted, "Leonard Bernstein left and clown-face Hollywood's Jew-face on the right is why Bradley Cooper is playing Bernstein? He's not Jewish. Now, a standard rule in Hollywood for other ethnicities, and he's not nearly as handsome as Bernstein." That's probably true, actually. He needs a hook nose to play a Jew? Hashtag anti-Semitism? Blimey. Okay, sugar tits, don't get your curlies in a twist. Good grief. What I'll say about this is, you could have cast someone like Adrian Brody, who is of Jewish heritage. He does bear quite a resemblance to Leonard Bernstein. He's a good actor, he's got a great voice. I don't know why he wasn't approached to play the role. I mean, he's got musical chops in him, I believe, so a little bit weird that he was an oversight. And I guess with Bradley Cooper playing the role, yes, it's this little pushback from Hollywood studios where it goes back to the old days where you would cast somebody who was the right fit. Maybe not ethnically wise, but they're the right fit for many other reasons. But what I feel that's happening in Hollywood right now, there's this push, there's this surge to get everything correct. Like, remember when Ed Gein, it's not Ed Gein, who am I thinking of? Ed Sheeran was in the original Hellboy movie from Neil Marshall, but because the character he was playing was Asian, they had to remove him and bring in Daniel Day Kim. It didn't matter in the end because the film was a complete and total disaster, despite the fact I like aspects of that movie because it's a Neil Marshall movie and I'm a big fan of Neil Marshall.
Not bad. That sketch was not too bad. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
So the last story I'm going to end my podcast with this week, ladies and gentlemen, is a gentleman called Oliver Anthony. Who? You may be asking. Rich man north of Richmond. A pretty nice alliteration there with the two R's, Mr. Anthony. This is a bit of a success story. I'm understating that. This gentleman, I think as far back as June of this year, played to an audience of 20 and recently played to 20,000 people plus. It's insane. Like the bro Gingerbeard he's got going on there, so people keep asking me why they're killing off gingers in entertainment. Well, Oliver Anthony, I guess, is here to stay. I'll give you a quick snippet of the song. It's really, really awesome. I've actually listened to it in full already.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame.
And that's what you're going to get from me, folks. I mean, he's a guy that goes home to his two adorable dogs. And we're not talking about those silly midget dogs you put in a purse like Paris Hilton. We're talking man-sized canines, which are awesome. And, you know, what I like about this, because you remember many years ago when Taylor Swift got her first break into music, it was through being faux country and western, but we know what a fake that woman is. But it's nice to see CNW getting a resurgence. I'm a Glenn Campbell guy. I'm a rhinestone cowboy. I'm the lineman of Wichita. And, you know, this song has the lyrics do resonate a lot. I'm not an American, but I can understand the frustrations of this gentleman. Obviously, he must be a Trump supporter because the reason why Trump came to power in 2016, because he was echoing what many other politicians do not dare to utter. And of course, while I say most people are happy for this guy's success, you got soy latte journos like Matthew Cantor. I mean, just take a look at him. He's the epitome of masculinity and manhood, isn't he? Rich man north of Richmond punches down. No surprise. Wait for it, the right wing loves it. Oh my God. I mean, Matthew Cantor, who works for The Guardian, and I had to leave this up actually, who are begging people to give them a monthly, annual or single subscription, £3 or £7 per month. Guardian, here's my subscription. If I just stick my finger up my arse, there we go. Give it a sniff, and now you can sniff it just for free. There you go, Guardian. So this article goes on to say, you know, it talks about how it went to number 3 on Spotify's top 50 USA list, and how he talks about the first part of the song having meaningful lyrics, you know, about young men putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because, of course, male erasure is a serious thing at the moment. It's been ongoing for quite a few years. But then Mr. Cantor starts to say things, start to feel less empathetic when Oliver Anthony starts complaining about the obese milking welfare, reasoning that if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, like certain YouTubers I can think of, taxes ought not to be paying for your bags of fudge rounds. We can all agree that politicians have caused many of America's problems. It's harder to argue that our country is being destroyed by short, overweight chocolate enthusiasts. He also rails against taxation, which he says means your dollar ain't shit. Me personally, I'm all for new talent on the scene because music these days has definitely lost its identity. Not when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s. It definitely, you got excited about songs that were getting released. Yes, I'm even talking about you, Rick Dees and the Disco Duck. Tammy Wynette. Stand By Your Man. You know, if that song was re-released today and it went to #1, do you think people might have a problem with that song's lyrics and what it stood for? Of course they would, because people out there are idiots. The left side are leaning, the left wing, they don't want you to listen to Oliver Anthony. They want you to listen to their rhetoric, you know, the commie rhetoric, which we don't stand for. In fact, you don't even have to tell people like me to stay away from the left side of thinking. You just do it automatically.
Hey, it's not the happiest political climate I've ever seen.
For me, it was a shift that happened 2 years ago. I'm glad it has occurred, and I'm never going to go back, because why the hell should I? So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you very much for the brand new subscribers I've gotten on my channel this week. In the last few days, it might have been Rachel Zegler who boosted my channel. So, as insufferable as I find that woman, you know, I think she gave me a bit of a boost. So, thanks, Zeglet. I owe you one, baby. And I will say at this moment in time, let's just try and get me up to, I think I'm at 2,478 subs. Let's get me up to 2,500 by the weekend. And if not, well, maybe 3,000 by the end of this year. I've got to be a bit more far away optimistic than being a guy that lives in the moment. I just really can't hope for that anymore. But by the way, guys, if you want to know who this lovely rare belongs to in my background wallpaper, it's for a video game called First Descendant. And the trailer, if you want to see it, it's basically a really hot bunny girl who goes around zapping people with guns. And judging by that rare, I'd like her to zap me with her buns anytime. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were me and if I were you, please comment below. Please share this video and look out for me, if I were you, on the next video.
Approved by 1970s Robert Redford.